try out a video on my phone Explorer. This is a little Windows application that it has a server for your phone and a client for your Windows operating system. And this is running on Windows 7, and you can I've got it set for notifications so you can see what's happening on the phone, and you can also transfer files and do all kinds of things. But I'll just start right here. I'll wake it up. See if it'll. Oh, I didn't get it picked up in time. Oops. Well, it didn't show it anyway. I thought, oh great, I showed my little code, but it didn't show it. It went away. Okay, good. That was a good thing. But I had it picked up, it probably would. Usually, I don't know, it's about half and half on recognizing your face, so would be kind of fun if it worked, you know, good. But you can, what I do is you can use your mouse, like that'll bring you to the next menu, or you can use your touch on your phone. And it depends on what I'm doing as to what seems easiest to me. And it shows your buttons on your phone. Only odd thing is they're backwards than my phone. My back button is actually on my left, and the home is the only thing that's in the correct place. It's in the middle, and the menu button is on the right on the phone. So, but I've kind of been using it quite a bit. I've been using it. It makes it so much easier. My phone is an Alcatel A845L. Let's see, does it? I think it'll tell you that. Yeah, here it is. Been using it and making videos and stuff all night, and I ran the battery down to about 25%. So I plugged it. But when you plug it into the USB, it brings in the video off the phone over USB. So that also automatically also charges the phone. So that's kind of good. Except for if you want to make a video while you're doing this with the phone, then you're kind of stuck to that tether of that USB. But it's an Alcatel A845L. It's running Android Jelly Bean MR2 4.3. Screen resolution is 480 by 800, 160 ppi. And the screen size is 2.99 by 5 inch. They call it a 4 inch actually, and I think it really is 4 inches. It's not a very big screen to me. Don't see all that well anymore, so I have to wear these dollar store glasses to read the computer, much less the phone. I can see some of it, but I couldn't work for a long time on it. Setting them up, putting on the apps when I get it. Got it. I actually have 2 of them. I got them for $14.88 at Walmart. And I may not turn them on. I just want a pocket computer. It's going to sleep. I haven't. It's actually my first smartphones I've ever had. I've been into Linux. It's 2005, and since Android runs on the Linux kernel, and it's very laid out very similar and works very similar to Linux, and it was just kind of fun. It's like another Linux distro to me, except for the App Store. It's like Windows freeware type stuff, and it's a real pain. So a bunch of ads and all this stuff. I'm not used to having to deal with all that anymore. I haven't been using Windows hardly at all since 2005, so I like Fedora and Debian Linux. But I found some apps that I like and put them on there, and it's a little slow at updating, and sometimes it will not update, and you have to kind of keep looking back at the phone to see if it updated. But you can hit this to make it forcibly update, and it will. Usually, if it's having any kind of problem, then you'll see it. It's not going to happen because it's working okay. See something up there showing, that it's dropped some frames, and on the memory status, I was going to show that. The system storage, this phone, this is the reason one of the reasons they were real cheap is people didn't like them because they didn't have enough storage. They had a 4 GB built-in memory card, and but let's see. Yeah, system. It's kind of called weird in this application. The system storage used 1.36 gigabytes. There's only 719 megabytes free, which you can't change that anyway, but you need room for cache files and all that stuff when you're running the system, in any system. I'll put a memory card in this one. I've already, oh my gosh, today only, I started out with, maybe 50 to 100 megabytes on it, and I have used up 15.74 gigabyte of the 32 gigabyte card, 29.82. I've learned how to keep it says external storage, but that's really the internal or the built-in partition, that's for the user. And when I first got it, I had my SD card in it. I put it in there, but I didn't figure out how to tell the system that it was my SD card would be my default location for my apps and files and everything, and so it started filling up real quick. Then I figured it out, but I think it left behind some stuff because it actually started out with about a gig free space, and this is where I've settled in with my apps on here. I got that my other phone I started out with I moved my stuff because it was going to sleep. My other phone I started out with it. I haven't done anything. I haven't installed any apps or anything. But my other phone I started out with my SD card as the default storage. So hopefully I won't fill up my. What happened was I was putting a few more. The other day I put a few more apps on it, and it filled it up completely. And so I don't know. That may be a problem because even if you've got a bunch of space, I got a 64 gigabyte card for the other one, SD card. Actually, I just got another one just like that one. I'm gonna put it in this phone and use this little 32 gigabyte for like maybe my mom's tablet or something, or just use it to carry around and use because now I have SD. I have an SD adapter and a USB adapter. So I got two of each now. It came with my 64 gigabyte card. So anyway, it's got all the. I still have. I didn't take off anything, but it came with. I don't use Twitter. I think that's what was on there that I took off, or Facebook. I took that off. Or I might not. Yeah, I did take it off. I think. I didn't want any Facebook on my phone. I have a Facebook account, but I don't use it. I don't use it on there unless somebody writes me. From some of my old friends, everybody's on there, But I'm just a software geek. I don't get into all that chatting and all that stuff. I like to make videos, but I kind of go in spurts on doing that too. But anyway, let's see, this is the end of it. And when I do it on the phone, it kind of bounces, but on here it doesn't. Well, there you go. You saw a little bit of. But go back to I'm going to hit home. So this is how I set it up. I found, open camera is pretty cool. And Insta Lively will stream to YouTube. QDroid scans QR codes. Total Commander, my old favorite Windows file commander. I found that. Chrome, of course, Photos, Gmail, Play Store, they came with it. That's the built-in app. That is the Google Hangouts dialer, and you can actually make phone calls as long as you have Wi-Fi. And the voice search. So first I'm gonna get another drink. My throat's getting dry. I made a few other videos on the phone, like I was saying, and put it back on notifications. Oh, before I forget, I'll show this. This is a pretty cool feature of this application, and that'd be more important than showing what my apps are on my phone. There's the external storage, which is actually the built-in user area where your files would go until you tell it to do otherwise. Kingsoft Office came with it, and you can't move it. You can move I moved everything. I didn't finish that. I moved everything to the SD card that I had installed originally. Memory card. So here's my SD card. All the stuff that's on there now. And system storage. This is the operating system. The stuff you can't change without rooting it. I did root it, and it didn't. The bootloader was locked. So when you rebooted it went away. So I took all that stuff off of there. It wasn't much use to me that way. And you can see your applications that are on there. You can even start them, refresh the view. You could delete them, install an application, download an application, and I have it click to hide the built-in ones. It still shows a few of them, the ones that came with the phone. But like Google Play Store, I don't know. I guess it doesn't consider, you know, I guess it doesn't really know what every manufacturer added, you know. Let's see. But but if you're on one of your, it doesn't really matter which one you're on. When you do it, I'm not going to do it right now because I won't be able to use it anymore. But I've got all this set up. But you can sync photos, or you can sync things of your choice. I can click here and show. I set up to sync my well, that's for two different phones, my two phones. But let's see, I can't remember. But anyway, I've got my external storage, what it calls external storage, which is really built-in storage. It actually says it the opposite. If you don't have an SD card in there, then it'll be right. But when you make the SD card your default storage, it swaps it in this program. I noticed that because I started out without it, you know, without the SD card set as the default storage. So it was a bit confusing, but I caught it before I made a mess out of my backups. But oh yeah, okay, I'll go in here to settings and show that. Settings. I ended up setting it to, you can set it to auto detect. It'll connect via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB, and you can set a fixed IP address. And I did have it on auto detect, and I don't think it really matters. Sometimes it didn't want to work, and I had to reboot the computer and the phone and stuff. And I finally decided to leave it on USB because it seemed like it was causing it to hang up. But I don't really think that was it. I just kind of ended up leaving it that way the last time I did it. But sync. I've got mine. This one's set to sync Thunderbird email client, and there's sticky notes. There's a sticky notes app on there. And let's see. Oh, then multi-sync. This is where you sync your drives, your disks, or I call them disks. I think of memory as RAM. I don't think I'm old school. I don't think of it as being. I was on computers before SD cards were ever invented, so a long time before that. So I still don't. I don't think of memory as a hard memory. I think of it as RAM. So okay, let's see. Select jobs, customize. Okay, now here's where you set up your jobs, and this is just for this phone. I have external storage going to one folder, and the memory card or SD card going to another folder on my computer. And what I really want is just to copy my files off my phone onto my computer, and I want it to work like my favorite backup, Lucky Backup, which I may set it up on this computer. It's not on here right now, and you can get it for Windows and Linux, and it's an open source backup application. I just want it to overwrite the old files and copy over the new files. Well, this it doesn't want to do that. It wants to be like a full backup. It won't. Your options here, or it'll either let's see, I may have to read it. The files in the source folder will be copied to the target folder. Edited files will not be overwritten in target folder. New file names will be generated. Well, that just makes a backup grow exponentially really quick. And in the target folder, no files will be deleted. And then you could check that to delete files in phone if they exist on the target folder. Well, I wouldn't want that. I started out using that reflect because I thought that would do what I wanted. Files from the source folder saved to the target folder. Edited files will be overwritten in the target folder. Sounds good. Files which do not exist on the source folder will be deleted on the target folder. And that's what happened. And I thought I had it figured out to where, it gives you a confirmation message of what do you want to do, and I thought I had it figured out, but it didn't work. It ended up deleting a bunch of my backups, and so that was aggravating. So I went back to this save save folder, and I'll just let it copy do its thing. I'm going to hit cancel and get out of this. I'll let it do its thing. I'm going to get down out of this too, and I'll show you what I do. AnyTwin. That's a real good backup program, a free. Well, actually, it's not limited at all. I don't think. I think they just ask for donations. And so I use AnyTwin to duplicate file finder to find the duplicates and delete them every day or every other time. A couple times I back up. So that's what I've been doing, but that's kind of busy and a bunch of work. But yeah, so I may put Lucky back up on here and just start doing that. But I love to be able to control my phone. I'll show you how. I'm going to use the mouse. See that when you open up the phone app, it automatically turns like that, the way you should have, you know, way I have it set. I have it set in HDR, and you can actually see. Let me see. I'll just aim it. My laptop is being scanned for viruses. Right now it's running Windows 7. Well, I've got Linux on it. I got Linux and Windows on. Anything that has Windows usually has. This the only machine I got that only has Windows is the one. And by the way, this is it's a little bit slower. The refresh rate is a little slower because this is actually running through VNC on a Linux box. I have a KVM switch which I might be able to show down there. Yeah, there it is. Whoops! If I keep my finger off there, the KV. It's weird. Hold it like that, and you can see it better. The light gets better. I can switch between 4 different computers. It's USB, so I can use my USB keyboard and mouse. And but I have it all filled up, and I didn't want to put this Windows machine on it, so I'm using VNC Remote Desktop to get to the machine I'm working on right now. So you're coming out of the video is coming out of the phone to that Windows box, and then from the Windows box to the Linux box before you see it. So there's a little, you know, that's why you can see it refreshing like that. It's a little faster on the laptop. I've run it on the laptop, but I ran into problems today. I was going to make this video on the laptop, and it wasn't running right, and it kept locking up. It kept shutting down, not logging up, but just flat shutting down. And I finally realized, for some reason, it was using. Oh, that's not Windows running there. That's Fedora 21 scanning my Windows drives with ClamAV. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a Linux antivirus program. Well, actually, Clam, K-L-A-M-A-V, is the GUI for Clam, C-L-A-M-A-V, the antivirus program. So that's the graphic program, and I'm scanning it. I've already done it twice with the ESET and Avira or something with a USB stick, and I have some that I set up using. I'm trying to see how it doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter. You can see that I can't move it much because the phone is tethered to my USB stick. But oops, I can move it around, but I can't really do a good video, especially with my hands all taken up. But anyway, I don't have the phone recording right now. I'm just a preview mode. But you can set this. I think I'll lay it down so I can see what I'm doing. For that help, yeah, I'm going to use my hands on here this time. It's a little easier. But I figured out. Well, I set this. I set my video settings at. That's another computer down there. I set them at 30 frames per second. 20 megabits was the highest I could get out of it, and I set it okay. So I have the it has like different light settings. I put it on auto. So inside of this room right here, it does seem to look a little better. Well, I don't know. At first I thought it looked better on warm fluorescent, because that's what I have in here is fluorescent lights, like those little swirly ones you screw into a light socket. And then it has all that stuff, but you know, you don't know what you're going to be in. I mean, you just move the phone around the room and everything changes. So automatics is the best for mostly what I do anyway. HDR, I like that the best for the size. And what's that? Oh, effects, bunch of effects, a little fun stuff, you know. I don't mess with that. I haven't messed with that yet. Oh, and there's my I make sure I always turn on auto stabilize. And my resolution 259 by 1944, 5.4 megapixels. But I was looking, I don't know where. Oh, it was the actual videos after they were done. The best the phone will actually do, it's supposed to be a 5 megapixel camera, but the best it will do is 2.7 megapixels or something. Oops, what did I hit? Oh, I hit the zoom by accident. Oh yeah, it has a zoom. And of course you're not seeing exactly what I'm doing, are you? Okay, so anyway, I figured out what I like and I'll leave all that alone. And auto stabilize, yes. Okay, the only thing that seems odd to me, and it may just be me and it may be working, but it seems to start out, can you see that? Yeah, there it is. Okay, it seems like this one here, which I'm not sure what it is even supposed to mean. Looks like a C with something over it. I'm looking at it with a magnifying glass. See, if I want to read this phone, well, I can't make it out either way. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but that seems to be where it always stays. It's right there. So I usually, before I take a video, I usually open it up and put it on auto. Oh, now see, my light came on. So that makes a huge difference. My light came on because it knew it was dark down there. Went back off, but I guess it decided it could do it. But when you look back up at, hold on the wire, look back up at the computer. Of course, it doesn't need that. And if you look at this screen, what's well, I'm not going to go into that, but video feedback is what I was going to say. But it doesn't seem that when you point the phone camera, and every other camera I've ever had does that. If you point the camera at the monitor of what you're shooting. But so anyway, I'm going to get out of the phone app now. Let's see. I'll use the back button on here just to show it. And this is any app that's or if you turn the phone, like let's see, what other app would I want to do that in? I'll just use Total Commander because it'll do that pretty good. So when you open up Total Commander, it will you know, you start it out up and down, and then if you turn the phone sideways, it flips automatically, and see now it flipped automatically in the program. That's pretty cool. And like I said, it's not looking so great right now because, well, I think another thing is I'm doing this desktop video, and I'm using OBS Studio, which is really pretty resource hungry program. I love it, but this machine is only it's a dual core AMD with 2 gig of RAM. If I just had like 4 gig of RAM, it'd do a lot better, because a lot of this stuff is what it's using is RAM, you know. But and I'm sending out to this is YouTube Live that it's recording to, and then I'm also recording onto the hard drive at the same time with this one, because I thought, well, if anything goes wrong with the stream, which it does happen a lot, you know, the audio and video will get off from being synced to each other, then I'd have maybe my local video will be alright, and I can delete the live one and upload the other one if I want to. And I found these apps. VidTrim is a pretty simple little video editing app. It's pretty neat. The Lance, heck, I forgot what it does. I always forget what some of this stuff does. Oh yeah, this is a Oh, this will control. I think you. Yeah, you can. You can use your phone to control the computer. I've tried it out, and it's just a little touchpad and some of well, there's 2 or 3 of them that'll do this, and it's a little touchpad and a keyboard usually. There's some I got on here. I haven't got to try it yet. They're supposed to send you a signal to the TV. ConnectBot. That's a remote terminal. That's like if you've ever used a Windows program called Putty. Well, it's not a Windows program. It's I use it in Linux to control a Windows program. So whoops, I think that's going to make it try to log in. Oh, it's asking me what I want to do. So it asks me, since there's 2 similar programs, it says, which one do you want to use? Well, the VX ConnectBot would be the one I want to use. ConnectBot, I guess I hadn't noticed that until I think they're the same author. And I may not need them both. I like the VX, I know that. So I'm going to get out of that. And if you notice on the right there, whatever I'm doing will show up. And yeah, I've got Google Photos going, adding. It says there's a new movie in my library. They must have made a movie out of some of the stuff that's been getting uploaded. So we have Videocaster. Haven't tried that yet. Wi-Fi Analyzer. That's a cool app. Of course, if you got an Android phone, you've seen all those Google-made apps. I'm going to turn it up sideways because it looks better that way. And that shows all the signals right here at mine. And that way I was able to pick a channel. One of my routers, the one I'm using here, Don's TP Link, that's the one I'm on. And my Linksys is manual channels. So I picked channel 6, I think, and then it kind of moved it over. I'm not sure if it was way over here. It was kind of half right in the middle of this one, and I figured it was interfering. But I've realized that even though the link, it's kind of odd because this TP Link's a newer one, and it's way faster. It'll do 350 megabits. Let's see, how's it? Can't remember. It's got a 5 gigahertz and a 2.4 gigahertz. Well, the phone doesn't even see the 5 gigahertz. You can see that right here. Anyway, it's a weaker signal than the old Linksys. This is the old hackable Linksys, and I brought the model number of it, but it's the old one. But on the phone, and that's really odd because all my laptops they'll get the full 54 megabits that they're capable of on any of my routers, but the phone will only, the most it generally runs around 20 to 35, 39 megabits. So it doesn't have a great Wi-Fi chip in it, but and by the way, that's why I first started out with AirDroid, which it worked really actually pretty well, but it didn't have hardly any apps. I want to control the whole phone. And I tried TeamViewer, and it was easy to set up and worked, but it was really too laggy to use. You think this is lagging. It was just flat. And it keeps going to sleep on me. Too laggy to use. And like I said, this is way faster when I'm not doing all this video stuff. But anyway, back to my signals. It was like right here, like this. But I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should change that channel so that maybe put it a little more over to the right, because it's slower. It's a stronger signal and it'll reach further, but it's way slower. I mean like 10, 15 megabits. And it's not that way on, or it never was before that way. And when and like I said, I used to have it way over here, like halfway overlapping with that, because I just guessed at my channels because I didn't have any way to tell. But anyway, it was bad to start with, and it didn't get any better when I moved it, but I just left it because I just thought that was probably better. I figured to keep it away from the strongest signal. So that's a cool app, except for its advertisements. That's what I don't like about. Puts a bunch of crap on your phone besides all the using up your processing power and your bandwidth. If they weren't, I don't hate ads because I know they got to make money. somehow. But I hate the blinking crap. Just regular ads would be fine. And non-deceptive ads like trick you to click on them and all that junk. So go to the next. No, it's not. There it goes. I want to click that reload just to see if it shows the. Didn't show it. Google Goggles is okay. It didn't come with it. ES File Explorer is a pretty good file explorer. It's really good at cleaning things up. Remote multi-drive. It'll turn on a server, and you can FTP, and you can use a web. It's just for use a web browser to get into your phone, but you can actually delete files, so you better watch out with that one. Camerify Live. That's like, I don't know if I mentioned Insta Lively. That's a live streamer that'll go to YouTube and other places like that. It works really well. Camerify is the same thing, but if you had a USB camera that was a higher quality than your phone, you could plug it in and it's supposed to work with anything, like even a DSLR or whatever. But you're still only going to stream. Actually, between these two apps, this one made a lot better looking video than this one. I tried them both out on YouTube. So I kind of wonder if you had a, if it doesn't do well with the built-in camera, how's it going to do any better with the. And that's kind of a shame, because I think this one's open source. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on it, but can't remember. It turns up that way when you do it. And I can see the welcome screen. Oh, it turned back because I didn't move my phone. But it is just a beta. I mean, it's just getting started. And it says something there about Facebook blocking something. So, I should say don't show this again, but. Oh, now it's going to be sideways, yeah. And, and this one, you better pay attention to which way you turn your phone, because it won't, it'll be sideways or upside down. And so will open camera, the way I have it set. I don't think it might not have done that at first. It might have been automatic, but well, now you can see the preview. But once I figured out how to make open camera work good, I was like, I don't want to use those lower. See, no, I mean, to stream, you got to have enough bandwidth, and I've got 60 down and 4 up, and that's not enough to stream, really high quality videos. So live, we'll see that. I will see that. I won't see what I'm doing it right now. We'll see what happens. I'm using the desktop, of course, but let's get out of this. But it hadn't turned off, I guess. Oh, yeah, it says press exit too. I'll wait on it because I want to wait for it to turn back. I think it'll turn. My phone turned and it's showing it up and down just like it should, but up there it's not. So that fools you. I think that's the thing I was actually talking about. There we go. Get out of that. But since I'm so used to desktop computers, that I really like being able to work on my phone with the mouse and be able to read it. Now I got the weather. It went all the way back to the home screen and I didn't know it. I was trying to kick on Insta Lively. There's the weather that came with it, of course. Yeah, it's this machine always does that, or the phone does. Phone's not hot. After a while of doing this, it just really starts slowing down. But Insta Lively, you can spin it. It's also for chatting. It's kind of like, if you ever remember Stickcam, it's kind of for talking to people and watching each other and stuff. But I mean, you can make all the videos you want. Nobody's going to pay attention to you unless you do something interesting, I guess. So you can just use it for. I think you can make them private too. But anyway, if you turn the phone, the video turns for you automatically, and it keeps it in the right position. So that's cool, because sometimes you want to do an up and down shot, and sometimes you want to do a sideways shot. And that one that says ESC, that's called Hacker's Keyboard. I'm gonna open it up, just show the settings. And I really like it because it has a full keyboard, but also it's a quick way to get to your keyboard settings, like set input method. Let's see, it's not, yeah, it's taking a while there. You can see it on the phone, and I already have it on Hacker's Keyboard. You can't well, I'll go into the next part, and then swipe and remote keyboard, which is what that's kind of odd because you don't have to have that turned on to have it work. Oh, I didn't mention that you can type. I'll have to do that. You can type on your keyboard with this My Phone Explorer, and that really helps in setting up accounts because I can't type on a phone to save my life. I never had a. This is my first smartphone, and I can't stand typing on these. I never did. That's one reason why I never got one. That and I couldn't see them. But I want to spend a bunch of money on one. But I had in 2000. I had one of the first phones that would do internet, and that's when I learned I didn't like it. Anyway, you can't unselect the Android-based keyboard, and I'd like to do that so that because it keeps coming out of hacker keyboard mode, and when I get into keyboard, sometimes I have that basic Android keyboard. Let's see. I'll just click on something that you type in. Like, oh, I had some apps up. New movie showing me. Okay, I'll just click on that, and that'll get me into the email. Oh no, that's not email. That's photos. I'll tell them what that is. So yeah, well, that's if you've ever been to Google Photos, you know what that is. So your Gmail, that's what I was looking for, or some other program. Let's just go to some other program. What will it be? As soon as it gets there. Oh, I know what I'll do. I was one of the ones I was going to go to anyway. Vid trim. Oh yeah, KineMaster is they call it like a professional quality video editor, and it's like a real video editor. I mean, it's kind of, if you've ever used Kdenlive, the open source video editor, it'll do just some of the things it'll do. But I did a whole video on it, and it was and I was doing it on the phone, not in this window. And oh, that was hard. That was so hard, but I did it. Okay, now multi-VNC is pretty cool. Let's see, what's it gonna say? Oh, the team that brought you multi-VNC has a new ad hoc Wi-Fi sharing app out called Shouter. Shouter is an easy-to-use application that enables users to wirelessly transfer any kind of data between Android-powered devices. What makes Shouter stand out is it doesn't need internet connection nor a Wi-Fi hotspot. Oh, between phones. Yeah, well, some of these other apps will do that too. This works everywhere, in the subway, even in the moon. Yeah, you'd be dead if you're on the moon. Okay, since Shouter, well, of course, unless you had your astronaut outfit on. Because it's an ad hoc Wi-Fi, it is an order of magnitude faster than Bluetooth and even 4G internet. And of course, yeah, depending on your chip on your phone. And of course, Shouter is secure, all the data sent. Okay. Never ask again, let me try it out. Not right now, but yeah, it does sound interesting. Okay. And I believe this might be one of the, if you like multi-VNC, I haven't done that yet. Not now. See, that's my answer to all questions. When I'm trying to do something else, not now. I'm busy. Hang on. Okay, drink time. Okay, let's see. I thought I had something already in there. Oh, okay. Well, I think I can show the keyboard though. There it is. That's all I really wanted anyway. Let me flip it the other way. Because of my cables, the only reason I'm doing it like that. Okay, now. Oh, it's upside down now. No, it's not. Now I'm not going to try to do it because I'd have to be holding the phone up where I can see it, but I'm going to actually cheat and use. But see, you've got all your numbers, everything's laid out like a real keyboard, and that is so much better for me. But this is a VNC program, and so you would, I don't think it took yet. Oh yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. It worked on the phone, but it didn't work on the view yet. Getting way behind. There, I refreshed it. 192.168. dot 0 dot. I don't have anything running. Oh wait, no, that's not. Only thing I have running that'll take a VNC connection is the machine I'm on right now. That's not the machine I'm on right now, but I was trying to see on that laptop. When I do have a VNC running on the laptop, but not. I'm not in Windows, but I'm not. I'm trying to. Where's my? There it is. Nope. Something's odd going on with the laptop. I'm getting distracted here. I don't see. Oh, I think it's because I have extra stuff running or something. I don't see the. Usually, you can just see your IP address. Right click on the networking icon and see your IP address. Oh, there it is. I'm just trying to do too much at once. 107. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I don't have remote desktop running on the as soon as it refreshes. You can type in normal speed though, as of course as fast as your view there can refresh. But hit next. Let's see. I just hit next. Port. Okay, and that finally refreshed. I was looking at the phone to see what was going on. I wonder if it's got. Oh, it may be asking. I'm not sure why it has a phone dial-in looking thing in there. Oh yeah, it's wanting a username now. I can see it on the phone, but not on there. I don't know why it's doing it that way. Oh, because it's not refreshed yet. That's why. So I'm not going to even do it because I think it's just asking those questions and then it'll try and it won't do it because I'm almost certain I don't have it running on that Linux system. So anyway, that's the that's the typing. Two ways you can type on here on this phone that I've set up. You can either use that hacker. I mean, well, you could use a regular keyboard, but I do like the numbers being right there and then having to flip back and forth. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop because of the refresh rate's gotten so bad now. It'll only get worse. And if you've where am I? Okay, I'm actually back at my home screen on the phone. So I'll do this. Do the refresh again. I'll show one more thing in case you've never done this. You wanted to do this. You would need to know this. I'll bring up these menus. I'm banging into my microphone trying to get to my phone. Okay. You got on this phone it'll do USB mass storage. Yeah, there's that frame buffer thing I was talking about. I have to wait for it to come on in. When it gets USB mass storage, I guess it depends on your operating system and what it'll do, but and you can select a different one. But all my machines, my Windows and my Linux, will just work fine. I can see both. If you switch it to camera, you'll only see one of the drives, and the mass storage you'll only see. Actually, I think you see like the onboard and the driver. There's actually an ISO image I think on there. Oh no, it's a folder. It's just a folder with the USB drivers on it, which automatically install on Windows and aren't needed on Linux because it does its own thing. You don't have to do anything, just plug it in and it works. On Fedora anyway, I haven't tried it in Debian. Anyway, the MPT works good, so you can see both your drives, and once you've got your drivers installed and everything. Well, they does that automatically, but if you do need to get to them, you can put it on a USB mass storage and copy them over. I did that just to back them up. And I'm working on the phone now with my fingers, so you don't see my mouse anymore doing anything. You can drag this, I think. It's a little trickier. Yeah, there it went. It actually worked real well, but since my refresh rate's bad. And you can change the size of that window. That's what that percent is up there, and that's what fits in me doing the remote desktop. It's only 1024 by 768, so that's all it'll, I think that's all it will do. But okay, and you have to have USB debugging in order for this USB cable to be able to show your desktop of your phone, and screen of your phone. As soon as it comes in, and okay, so that yellow means it's on, but it does make it use more battery. So if you forget, like I've been doing, and turn off your phone with it like that, then it will use. You'll start it with 100%. The next day you'll be about 85% or something like that. So if you just click that, it'll. I'm not going to do it because that will disconnect me. But a lot of times when you turn this off and turn it back on, this will be unchecked. Sometimes it'll be checked, sometimes it won't. So anyway, you got to check that. That's the only thing in there that you have to set. I tried messing around with some of the other stuff. It didn't really help me or give me anything better. If you've never, and this doesn't come default that you can get into this screen on this phone. We go to settings. I'm using the menus on the phone. Go to settings, and let's see, what was it? About the phone? No, it is not about the phone. I always forget. It's the one about the operating system, I believe. Anyway, you have to click on it like 8 to 10 times or something. You know, it might have went away after I got it into USB debugging mode. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't believe it was there. Oh, I think you go into about the phone and then click on Android version over and over. I think is what it is. I found it in the manual to the phone. Of course, they kind of discourage you from doing it, but that'll give you developer options, and that's the way that you can do that. And that's how you can make this work. Otherwise, you won't. This part won't work. It'll just keep saying it can't connect to the USB. So if you've got it turned off and you forget and you plug it and you try to connect, and it'll say that. So the first thing you need to do is go check and see if you got USB debugging turned on or not. So that's a bit of a hassle there, but it works where the way this is doing right now. That's the way TeamViewer works the whole time. You're on it from start to finish with this phone. Now, if you had a faster Wi-Fi chip in your phone, it might work really well, and it would be cool because you can do it wirelessly. Just don't forget and leave. I think you might have to have the USB. No, you wouldn't have to have the USB debugging, but don't forget and leave that TeamViewer server on and go off to the coffee shop or something. People that know how to do these things will be in your phone in a heartbeat. But so you see the frame buffer error is just stuck there. It'll quit. Well, I guess it'll quit. Well, I'm going to quit it, so it'll have to quit. So and you can set up more than one phone in there. I have my second phone and my mom. I got another one for my mom, and so it's in there too. And it just automatically recognizes which phone you plug in. And well, that up there's your contacts. That's your call log, which I have nothing. I was trying to download them, but there's not anything. I have nothing because I haven't got any service. Your calendar, if you use that, I'll make them go back up. Messages, I haven't used. That's for chat and stuff, I think. Well, I think if you used, instead of Gmail, if you used a regular email, you can put a POP3 address in there if you want regular email. But, yeah, so it didn't, see, it doesn't charge real fast when it's on the, I'm going to close that window. It's not even working anymore. The program's getting tired, I think, because it didn't close it yet. There it went. But yeah, the charge is only up to 40%. And the, you know, the USB charger, I guess everybody that has a phone that's a whole lot faster. Memory status, yeah. I'm gonna have to, I guess I'll have to quit making so many videos, because I've got about, I had around 100 gigabyte. I can't, let's see, what did I have? Well, I had 100 gigabyte. Anyway, I've had to I don't know what I've got right now on the hard drive of this computer, but I'm using it way faster than I ever thought I would. So anyway, it's this is a cool app, and this, you know, to be able to control your phone and to work on it, set it up, use your keyboard to type on it. And actually, it wouldn't matter if your keyboard and mouse were USB or not, because if they're connected to the computer and then you're on a USB to connect to the phone, then whatever, if you had a PS2, you know, if you had wireless, which would be USB anyway, well, it could be Bluetooth, I guess, but however you had, if your phone's plugged in, if your mouse and keyboard works on your computer, then it'll work on your phone because you're going through the USB. So, and my phone, I almost bought a little adapter for, I saw one on Amazon for $11 and something, and it said it was made for a specific model of phone, you know, a brand, not my brand. But I thought, you know, what difference would that make? I kept reading the specs and everything, and this is when I first got them. And when I was trying to do this, and I hadn't discovered this program yet. Well, I think I had, but it wasn't. I was using it on here, and it was not working that great, you know. Anyway, it was basically a phone dock that had, you know, USB charging. It had, it would send a video out the USB to the computer, and which is what I'm doing anyway. But it might have been before I discovered this program. And it had a couple of USB ports, and I can't remember what all it had, but it was $11, and I almost ordered it, but it said, I was reading comments, and it said, will this work on my phone? You know, people always asking each other that stuff, and it said, well, it will if your phone supports the protocol. And so I finally found out what the protocol name was, and I forgot it now. Looked it up in my manual and couldn't find a single mention of it. I also couldn't find a mention of OTG, on the go. They don't support on the go protocol. Well, that's what I'm doing. At first I didn't realize, you know, I wasn't thinking straight. My cable that came with the phone to charge it, well, heck, you can plug it in the computer too, and that's an on the go cable. It's just something that they call it that, you know, that somebody branded it that, and it goes with their particular phones. So and then after I found this program, my Phone Explorer, and I realized, it was after I'd used it for a week. Finally one day I thought, you know what? It doesn't matter whether this phone mentions that protocol in it or not. I'm doing it straight to my computer. So it would have most very likely worked on that dock, and it would have been nice because then I could do this and have a peripherals plugged in at the same time. You know, don't know if I need it, but it went up. The price went up quite a bit already, so I wouldn't spend more than that for it. Not for myself, anyway. So anyway, this is my Phone Explorer, and hope you like it. And I think the people that wrote the program did a good job, and it's completely free. And I guess, you know, we'll see where I was going to see. I don't see a help menu where. I'm sure if you get on their website, they would love to have some donations. So anyway, this is Don, and I'm done and done. All right, bye-bye. Oh, let me get over where I can say bye. There we go. Yeah, there's video feedback. Okay, stop recording. Stop streaming. Yes, I want to stop. Bye.